Hey Coop, Crazy Horse 6, doing a couple videos today. The first one, I had a question come in from DMs asking about survivor tokens. What are survivor tokens and how do you use them? Great question. Because at the beginning of the game, because we didn't have a lot of survivor uh, tickets, you couldn't really upgrade a lot of survivors. And so a lot of people accumulated tons of tokens, and it was actually kind of a waste to get a bunch of them. Today is base expansion day, so you get points for recruiting survivors. I just happened to come in case you didn't realize, two places to get a lot of survivors. One is the Alliance store. I've already bought out all those. The VIP store also has survivor recruitment tickets, so I've gone in there and I bought all those out as well. So let's do a bunch of recruiting for versus points, and you can see all the survivor tokens I'm getting here. I need to get a bunch of them so I can go in and explain. We'll do the last 9 later. So we come in here to the survivor building, and you can see the green arrows are all the legendary survivors that I have eligible for upgrade. And I can also come in here and see all the epic advisors, and then I can also do quick dispatch, and I actually have a couple, who knows where they got dispatched to, but for the upgrades, so here's a priority, is you're looking at miners for iron and gold miners. Let's see if I have any gold miners. No gold miners to upgrade. For gold, there's one, but he's not upgrade eligible. So because coins, because gold and iron tend to be pretty in demand. Food, if you're trying to get your barracks to 30, so farmers could be upgraded as well. You see I got Jolene at 1 star. The other ones that are good to upgrade are scientists, so you can speed up your research. And then I'd say builders are also okay if you want to speed up your buildings. And then lawyers are great because they increase your help time. The ones you do not, and you'll see I got a lot of these that are like, hey, upgrade me, but I'm never going to upgrade them, is all the people in the vaults. So we got the vault keeper, the iron storage keeper, the barn keeper. Never worth upgrading. I don't like, even when you come into my tech tree and you look at, I think is it in development or economy? I never look. Economy. If you look at the bottom of the tech tree, you've got all these vaults, increased food protection. I don't care. One, my base hardly ever gets breached, and when it does, I'd rather just make sure I don't have any resources. That's why you don't open up resources until you actually need them. So I actually have quite a bit open right now, but that's because of all the collections, and I've been holding on to some. But you see I've got 106 open. I've got 374 gold in storage. No one can touch that 374 if my base is breached. You can also see I have not upgraded these beyond level 19, when I think that's at the point I realize how useless they are. So yeah, in short, don't bother upgrading those survivors. You also, for the epic level survivors, sparingly, because eventually when you get the gold ones, they'll be replaced. One of the things that's important here is like, okay, great, Jolene is eligible for upgrade. She's got 2 stars already. I had worked on her before, but if you click on her, she's not actually in one of my tech hubs. That might change when I unlock the 3rd one at the end of season 2. Potentially then she's worth upgrading again. But until then, I would rather just focus on the ones that are actually in buildings. So if I come to Jolene here, she actually is, you can see up here in the upper right hand corner, she's in my level 28 farmland. And so you can see it takes 10 of her shards, 180 tokens, and I can get part of a level up for her. Come to Amanda. Again, level her up. Another farmer. Level him up twice. An officer to expand drill ground capacity. Sure, although probably not quite as important. All that really does is it gives you a boost for Desert Storm and Winter Storm, but unless you're filling up your drill grounds every single buster day, it's not a huge free build-up time. Sure, upgrade him. And then we'll skip all the rest. So mechanics, the crafting speed, that is for crafting gear. If you already have legendary gear on all of your primary squads, then this is probably pretty useless and just a waste of tokens to upgrade her. And that's it for my legendary. Since I was talking about officers and how they expand drill ground capacity, I will touch on one thing. This is another question that's come up in my DMs in the past week or so with a few different players asking about, expanding drill ground capacity. You can see I've got the 4 drill grounds. I would not recommend getting the 4th drill ground until after you have T10s. And here's why. It does take a lot of research to unlock that 4th drill ground. So you come in here, I think it's in Siege to Seize, yeah. And you've got to knock out, you only have to get 1 for the troop load, which I would recommend always minimizing the bare minimum number for increasing load capacity. Load capacity is kind of a worthless, research. It just means you can take away more resources from a base when you hit it, but it doesn't actually increase the amount of resources you can plunder per day. So it just means you use a little bit less stamina to max out your plunders. But you do have to max all of these, and these can end up being kind of expensive researches before you can unlock this. Here's the preference here. Like, if I had units and heroes maxed out, and special forces over 80%, or I've started working on siege to siege or defense fortifications, like, you don't need a full drill ground because your squads will be powerful enough to not die. It sounds kind of funny to say it that way, but honestly, like, when I'm going up, if I have my first squad going up against someone who's maybe like 22, 23, 24 million, my casualty rate is extremely low. To the point where I think, if I'm going up against someone even as high as like maybe like 24 million, I don't lose any troops. So I could only have, 20, what is my march size? I think it's like 2270 or something. I could just have 2,500 troops in one of my drill grounds, and that's it. And I could still end up beating people over and over and over again with my first squad. Now, I mean, because I want to defend my wall too, I want to be able to keep a couple squads back. So having, say 5,000, 6,000 is a great minimum number to have, but I can actually hold my own against quite a few people just by virtue of having more powerful squads. And I don't need full drill grounds. Now, when it comes to stuff like, the soil wars and defending a furnace, you're gonna go through troops a little bit faster because you're dealing with rallies, and having larger drill grounds can be beneficial. But I would say, if you are expanding your drill ground capacity and you're trying to train troops to a max every buster day, all you're really doing is providing more opportunity. But your squads aren't maxed out in power yet. Like, you don't have a really powerful first or second squad, but you just have a lot of troops. What you're really just doing is just giving a lot more points to the enemy, because you're just allowing more of your troops to die. versus killing more of theirs. Does that make sense? At that point, you almost don't want to have large drill grounds because that's just more opportunities for them to get more versus points off you. So the priority, I think, instead of the fourth drill ground, I think the priority is definitely on T10 research. And of course, another little shout out, after you've gotten finished with the T10 research, you need to come back here and max out your unit morale is a big one. This is a huge boost in PvP battles, especially. And then it's slowly, these are also really expensive, but coming back here and maxing these out as well on tech day is pretty important. So don't mean to get down a rabbit hole, really just, I thought of that because of the officer survivors and what they do to your drill grounds. I would not prioritize building bigger drill grounds until you've prioritized, stronger marching power. That's it. Another video coming out shortly as well. Have a good one.